Hey, what's up everybody? Greg Ray here with Outdoor Solutions Long Range Shooting Schools. We are bringing you another tip. We're actually still at the range. We just finished doing a tip on hand position. If you haven't seen that one yet, go back and check it out first. I'll put a link down in the description because it will really tie into this tip, which is going to be trigger control. So on hand position, one of the things that we taught is not giving it the gorilla grip and having your thumb in line. The reason that we do that is so that you can have a proper trigger squeeze, pull, whatever you want to call it. So basically what I want to do is show you what not to do first. And this is what we see on the range when people come to our class. We've all done it. So one of the things that you do not want to do, you can see my firearm is not loaded, I'm clear. I'll do a little dry fire here. One thing that we see quite a bit here, you can see on this trigger squeeze, is people do it in a real hurry and basically they slap the trigger. So I get a lot of movement in there. So that is going to cause you to be inconsistent. When we're talking about precision shooting or with hunting, consistency is the name of the game. So the other thing that we see them do is maybe they don't slap the trigger, but they pull it really quick and then come off of it. So they're basically kind of bouncing off that back wall of the trigger. So what I'm going to do is show you one trick that I learned from our instructors that will help prevent you from doing either one of those, plus a bonus of helping you stay in the gun as well. So here's what we do. This is what we want you to do. Once you've got your proper grip, your thumb lined up, also whenever you're using your trigger finger, we don't want you to just use the end, and we don't want you to be in too deep. We want you to just use the pad of your finger. The reason for that, if you just use the end, what that's going to do is you'll pull your muzzle to the right, and most of your shots will be to the right. If you go in too far, you're going to be inconsistent as well. So if you just use that pad, it allows you to be able to press straight back if you've got the proper grip to go along with it as well. But here's one thing that will help you out tremendously with multiple things. The two things that I just mentioned about slapping the trigger and bouncing off of the back wall of the trigger is the analogy that I like to use instead of pulling or squeezing is just applying pressure. So as I'm applying pressure, apply pressure, boom, my trigger breaks. So instead of immediately coming off of the trigger, just do a 1 count. Just hold the trigger on that back wall for 1 second. And that's going to do a multitude of things for you. One, it's going to prevent you from slapping the trigger or bouncing off of it, which will help you be more consistent. The other thing that it will do is whenever you apply pressure and that trigger breaks, that's going to force you to stay in your gun, which is what we call follow through. And that'll help you see your impact, which is what you want to be able to do. That should be your goal when you're on the range. And it really helps you whenever you're hunting so that you can see the impact on your animal and you can see what direction that the animal went. So, go ahead and go again. So, again, hand in proper place. Start applying pressure. Trigger breaks, stay in there for 1 second. And that will help you a lot with your consistency on the range. One of the main reasons that we see for people either slapping the trigger or coming off really quick, one, maybe they're new and they're anticipating that recoil, or it could be somebody that's been shooting for a really long time and they've been shooting big calibers and they get that big recoil, and so they're anticipating the recoil. But if you'll try that trick, I promise you'll have more consistency, you'll have tighter groups, and you'll be a more efficient hunter. We'll have more tips coming up here soon, so make sure you check back with us here at Outdoor Solutions Long Range Shooting Schools.